everybody, welcome to part 38 of our Clone Wars rewrite. We are currently rewriting the character of Ahsoka Tano, and in this video we'll be focusing on the Season 4 Obi-Wan Undercover arc, where we have Ahsoka's attempts to rein in a vengeful Anakin lead to their fragile relationship finally falling apart. Thanks for joining us. What we have for this episode is Ahsoka implies that training younglings is much worse than a long, boring meeting. This coming from the girl who less than a season from now is put in charge of a group of younglings when pursuing Kenobi's supposed killer. Ahsoka is more concerned with how the sniper's location was discovered than the fact that they'll finally be able to get justice for Kenobi's death. Goes to show just how little she cared about Obi-Wan. When entering the bar where Hardeen is, Ahsoka surveys the crowd with anger and disgust, and then stands by while Anakin violently handles Hardeen. And this is after she told Plo Koon that she was worried about Anakin. It's a pretty twisted way to show concern for your friends, Ahsoka. Not to mention this is a 180-degree turn from her behavior in the previous scene, as well as her behavior toward Anakin in the Zygerian Slavers arc, which we only finished, 2 episodes ago. I can tell I'm gonna have a great day because my tongue keeps wanting to trip over itself. See right off the bat, all warfare is based on deception. And the quote that I found is this one, because I was thinking of the scene where she's like, what crazy, Anakin's grieving, I'm worried about it, what's going on?
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
there is no normal way to grieve except for how we each do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true.
Moralo Evil, mastermind of a separatist plot to kidnap Chancellor Palpatine, has been captured by Republic forces. But even with the criminal behind bars, rumors swirl in the underworld of Coruscant that Moralo's plot has already been set in motion. With precious time running out, the Jedi Council hatches their own plot to keep the Chancellor safe.
The Jedi Council has called an emergency meeting.
I can see it now. Another long, boring debate.
There's no such thing as Jedi being able to sense danger.
Of course not.
Would you rather they call you in to train younglings?
Are you crazy?
That would be a perfect time to edit in the stitch of Anakin igniting his lightsaber in front of the kids.
Oh dear.
Any idea where that shot came from?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe behind and up?
Anakin, you flank him on the right. Ahsoka, you cover the lower streets. I'm going after him.
Aren't you all going after him? There were just shots firing off, and that dude is walking along there is nothing going on, no concern in this area at all. I feel perfectly casual and safe.
Well, okay.
You gotta give it to Hardeen. I mean, he's pretty good that he saw where both of them were coming at him from and covering them both.
I lost him! Obi-Wan, do you have anything?
It's too bad you don't have Jedi senses. What if Anakin hadn't lost him?
Yeah, it would kind of screw up their whole plan there.
She just so happens to be right. Oh, okay.
Obi-Wan!
I got him! Go!
Very effective.
Yes, indeed.
Swing my arms around you in the smoke.
How is he? Obi-Wan? Obi-Wan!
Oh man, I can't believe they killed off Obi-Wan. That's crazy.
Totally.
I thought he was in later movies.
Guess not.
I guess I
must have remembered wrong. So obviously we would change Ahsoka's stupid line about the younglings. I was gonna say because, yeah, we basically could cut that line, because I'm not really sure what we would replace it with, but yeah, having her be completely silent doesn't really sit right either, so...
What if instead of having Anakin prompt it with, oh, another long, boring debate, which is childish. It, like, you know, Obi-Wan's like, hey, they called an emergency meeting, and Ahsoka's like, well, you know, what's it about? What's going on? And then Obi-Wan's like, they didn't give me the details. You know, we'll have to find out when we get back to the temple. I don't know what you could have Anakin say, maybe, but like, it's some sort of conversation where like him and Ahsoka do exchange words, but like it's very kind of like we're talking.
It's formal.
But like, well, it's not comfortable. I wouldn't say it's formal so much. It's just like, but like you talk to your colleague, someone you work with. It's just like we talk, but we're not friends. So
and
that's the kind of thing.
The only other thing I think I would change in that scene is I just find it weird that when Obi-Wan falls, like, we don't get a reaction shot from Ahsoka. She's just immediately like, go, Anakin, I've got this. And
I mean,
I'd much rather have, like, a quick reaction shot, like, where she's like, holy crap, Obi-Wan just got shot and fell down, like, several stories. This
Which
is
should
bad.
have killed him because he like landed on his head on top of these boxes.
Oh yeah, I forgot he lands on his head. Ugh.
Like I would honestly change a whole bunch of that scene, but like since we're kind of trying to focus on Ahsoka, assuming you know we make it so it's not quite so convenient that Anakin just happens to lose him and you know this and that and the other thing, right? Like yeah, Obi-Wan would fall in such a way that he's not going to break something. Maybe he lands on something that's not quite so stiff. Or Ahsoka catches him with the Force.
Would she be quick enough to do that? Because you pointed out that like it was kind of convenient to have Ahsoka like right there. So I was gonna suggest having her like farther away.
Okay.
In which case she definitely wouldn't catch him. Either way, I think it would be too sudden for her to do anything anyway. So yeah, she sees him fall. She has a reaction shot. She goes running over and she tells Anakin like, "Go, I've got him." And then the rest I would leave the same.
What is under there?
Probably a fake body.
They have fake bodies in Star Wars?
I guess they would for this. They'd have
Okay.
to.
I'm worried about Anakin. He hasn't said a word since it happened.
You don't think everyone could hear that?
Yeah,
Given how,
definitely
like, the
make that
acoustics in
more
this
of a
room are
whisper
working.
instead of just like talking casually. Lower your voice, please.
Either that or like have her say that after the scene. Like part of what bothers me is that it's kind of like the scene in like Jedi Who Knew Too Much where she's like talking through the funeral, right? Like it's so disrespectful.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that too.
So I would have it, we have this scene, nobody says a word, you just pan across the faces and then you end on this angry shot of Anakin. And then you cut to them like filing out of the room and maybe like Plo Koon says something to Ahsoka like, hey, are you okay? Or something like that. She's like, yeah, like I'm more worried about Anakin. He hasn't said a word since it happened, right? And so then it kind of happens as they're filing out into the hallway, and maybe as she's kind of saying it, you see his back to them as he's walking down the hallway, kind of thing, right? And then that kind of ends that scene. Oh look, Obi-Wan's still alive!
Shocker.
I still don't understand. Did Master Yoda say how they found the sniper?
Who cares? All that matters is they did.
I feel like that's kind of exposition for the sake of the audience. Like, oh, this is how we were tipped off about this.
Yeah. And again, it's like, why would Yoda send Anakin and an Ahsoka to do this?
Exactly. It's very dumb.
There's so much about this arc that is just Jedi Council being dumb on top of dumb on top of dumb. And this is one of it. So I would not have it be that Yoda told them. Maybe Yoda tells somebody else and Anakin overhears?
Or he catches wind of it.
Yeah. And then he like goes up to the person who's like, hey, you know, like, oh, Yoda actually just contacted told me that you're needed somewhere else. Like, you know, I'll take this kind of thing. Like, maybe he tries to pull one of those, like, and then Ahsoka would kind of, yeah, maybe, because like maybe they're going to do something, right, together, and then they're like walking past a doorway or something by a hangar. Either way, Yoda's talking to somebody else. Anakin picks up the words, you know, like Obi-Wan's killer or something like that. So he's like, wait, hold up, Ahsoka. And they stop and wait, and like Anakin listens in, and then the problem is it would be so fast, right? Like it wouldn't make sense if Yoda's doing it in person. Yeah, so it would be Yoda via hologram, I think, contacting someone who's like in the hangar bay or whatever, and Anakin goes up to the person after the hologram's been, you know, disconnected, and he's like, hey, you know, like, why don't you let me handle that, right? Like, that kind of thing.
I'm just wondering who he would send and if they would push back against Anakin.
Well, because the thing is, Obi-Wan's going to cooperate. They know Obi-Wan's going to cooperate. Like, he might put up a little show, but, like, he's not gonna, like, actually attack anyone they send. So, like, they could send like someone who is just freshly knighted. And since Anakin is like of higher seniority, whatever, and yeah, he was Obi-Wan's apprentice, then he could probably convince someone younger, new to it, kind of like, hey, let me take this. He was my master. The least you could let me do is bring in the guy who killed him. Right? And even if the person is hesitant, they might not be, no, I don't think I should let you go. Like, because they don't have the authority to do that.
Okay, that's fair.
To make the decision. So it's like, and it doesn't even have to be like an existing character. Like, you could just shove an OC in there. Like, they could be like an older Padawan even, but something like that. So then Ahsoka, after the person leaves, like, oh, okay, I'll let you deal with it, you know, here's the location, whatever. She's like, Anakin, didn't we have something else we need to be doing? Or like you know, like she's kind of like, what are you doing? But because like what we have written in our notes is that like she goes with Anakin not to support him, but to be there to rein him in if necessary. So maybe she's like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, well, you don't have to come if you don't want to. Because like she already knows what he is doing. So her what are you doing is more like why are you doing this? Like, yeah. And so then he responds like, you know, you don't have to come if you don't want to. And she hesitates, and then she's like, no, I'll come. I was gonna ask, why are they in 2 speeders? But I guess it makes sense because there's only 2 seats in each speeder, and they're gonna have 3 people on the way back. I kind of wish they would just put them in the same speeder and make it like a 4-seater thing. Like, carpool, people, carpool.
Where is Racco Hardeen?
Back room.
Didn't that frown get any deeper? Like,
yeah, obviously
think of
Ahsoka would not be
Dedramir.
glaring like she's ready to kill someone.
when he pulls his lightsaber, do we want to have her kind of quietly be like, I don't think that's necessary?
Yeah, like maybe she puts a hand on his arm and she's like, Anakin, I don't think that's necessary. And he just kind of shrugs her off and walks away.
Yeah, shrugs her off, asks his question, gets an answer, walks away.
Is he dead?
He's about to be.
I'll just let it play first.
I already killed the Jedi today. Let me sleep.
He's not dead. He's drunk. Get up, you filth! If it was up to me, I would kill you right here. But lucky for you, the man you murdered would rather see you rot in jail. Now let's go, you coward. before I change my mind.
Why is Ahsoka even there for all of that? Literally, all she contributes to that trip is saying, "Where'd this information come from?"
And saying, "Oh, I think he's dead."
Yeah, so basically she just sets up Anakin to say things. That's all. That's literally all she contributes.
Wow. Okay. Yep. Great use of a character. So they walk into the room, and Ahsoka's like, "Well, see, you don't need the lightsaber. Like he's just asleep. Let's just grab him and go." And yeah, like Anakin goes over there. Maybe he has a line about like, "Oh, maybe he drank himself to death. Like good riddance if he did."
Yeah.
And then he goes over there and grabs him, shakes him awake. Obviously, like with Ahsoka there, we can't have him like go all out with like smashing Hardeen against a wall and like threatening him explicitly, and I would just have him like rough handle Hardeen and drag him out.
I would maybe have him like, because I do kind of like the, if it was up to me, I'd kill you right here, but lucky for you, the man you murdered would rather see you rot in jail. The other thing is like Obi-Wan, again. This is his Padawan, his brother, who thinks he's dead. And he thinks it's a good idea to be like, "Oh, Jedi, I already killed a Jedi today. Let me slay." Like,
Yeah,
he's
I never
like,
really thought of that, but that is so
Anakin.
insanely stupid.
Yeah, why would he provoke Anakin? Like, if Anakin loses his temper and tries to kill him, what's he gonna do?
It
Hold
just
up, Anakin. Me. Don't kill me, please.
Yeah, it just occurred to me, like, since we changed it so that Yoda was going to send someone else, Hardeen, aka Obi-Wan, would be surprised to see Anakin there. Like, yeah, he's a little out of it, but obviously he can still react to things.
I think he's just pretending to be out of it. Like, he's not actually inebriated in any way, shape, or form.
So yeah, definitely in that case, I would show him, like, kind of split second, him being surprised.
Because his back is toward the door, so maybe it's like you have the camera angle such that when they start talking and he realizes who it is, like you see his eyes open and he's like, like shifty eyes, kind of like, "Was not expecting that, but okay, I'm drunk." Like, and then, like, Anakin shakes him and then, "Oh, what? Oh, let me sleep." Like, but he doesn't, like, say anything provoking. What I'm thinking, what if we got Ahsoka, like, because, yeah, maybe he's, like, rough handling Hardeen, and Ahsoka's like, "Hey, Anakin," and he's like, "Well, if it was up to me, I'd kill him, but, like, lucky for him, the man he murdered would rather see him rot in jail, so don't worry about it, Ahsoka. Like, I'm not gonna do anything. If we lose the line, we lose the line." It's just, I did kind of appreciate it because it's like, I don't know, that says something to me that, like, he respected Obi-Wan so much that he would restrain himself to respect the way Obi-Wan would do things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also really liked that.
Let me know if he's any trouble. I'd be happy to straighten him out.
So my suggestion was that as soon as Anakin says his, "I'll be happy to straighten him out," she kind of like looks down, sighs, shakes her head, and starts walking away. And then he's still watching Hardeen get led away, and then he turns around as well. So she doesn't like say anything, but like she makes it clear that she's just like not happy with this behavior.
I was thinking of like having her actually say something. Be like to the guards, like that's not actually necessary. Like, I'm sure you guys got this handled, but yeah, I guess it makes more sense to not have her say something.
If she was gonna say something, instead of addressing the guards, I would have her address Anakin and be like, "No, I'm sure they've got it handled."
Oh yeah, actually I think that would work better.
Either which way, I would probably have her start walking away sooner, because she's just like, "Okay, we're done here. Like, let's just go, like, and stop with all this." Yeah, okay, so they're not in the rest of the episode. Next episode!
Back so soon?
Okay, how is that so perfect?
I that was amazing. Okay, wasn't actually expecting to go back to the argument against Ahsoka so quickly. So what we have written down in the argument against Ahsoka is that she insults Bane's hat, indicating she has terrible taste. Ugh. And we also have Ahsoka's behavior in this episode is more or less a repeat of what we saw in the previous one. Ahsoka's more concerned with how information regarding Hardeen's whereabouts was obtained rather than actually bringing him to justice. But again, this frivolous preoccupation immediately disappears upon entering a seedy bar and is replaced by anger and disgust toward everyone present. And just like in the last episode, Ahsoka stands by while Anakin violently attacks someone. It isn't long, though, before Ahsoka's behavior escalates and she starts partaking in the violence. She rams the enemy ship multiple times, endangering Anakin in the process, and this carelessly close proximity is ultimately what causes the two ships to crash. Overall, Ahsoka aiding and abetting Anakin's revenge mission almost cost him and Obi-Wan their lives. Good job, Ahsoka.
I have it from a reliable source that the fugitives were last headed towards Nal Hutta.
You won't regret this.
No, I won't.
I'm not evil at all.
What makes you think Obi-Wan's murder is on Nal Hutta?
I got a tip from the Chancellor himself.
The thing is, we saw that scene. Why have this scene? Or like, why not have them saying something else? Like, if you're just showing they're arriving, then okay, you're just showing they're arriving. But like, why have them repeat information?
So, do we want to kind of have another scene in this episode where Anakin's prepping to go and Ahsoka catches him and she's like, no, let me come with you? Or do we just want to skip over that since it would basically just be a repeat of what we did in the first episode?
Cause last time I suggested that Anakin is like, hey, yo, hold up, like, let's go do this thing. Like, he kind of invites her in a sense. What if this time he's trying to leave without her? Like, all she did was nag him. Like, that's the way he would see it in the last episode. And like this time he's not necessarily out to bring him to rot in jail, right? Like, I think he's past that point.
Definitely. We could have R2 tip her off that Anakin's up to something, rather than just her conveniently bumping into him as he's leaving.
I like that. Like, okay, so Anakin leaves the, oh, no, I won't. And then have a scene in there somewhere where, yeah, Ahsoka, what would she be up to? Maybe she's in the library, the archives, studying something, whatever, not important. And then, yeah, she gets a thing on her comm, and it's R2, and she's like, he's doing what? And then yeah, she hightails it out of there. And then you cut to Anakin prepping to go, and R2 is helping him. I mean, like, because they don't actually bring R2, but like, you know, maybe R2 is just like recalibrating something. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And then she comes up and she's like, hey, where are you going? Because like basically, like, I'm thinking she just kind of plays it off like, oh, what a happy coincidence bumping into you here. But do we want to do it that way, or do we want to have her be like, I know where you're going, I know what you're doing, like, and I'm coming with you?
Like, I'd have her more or less get straight to the point. So she goes in there and she's like, Anakin, like, what's going on? Where are you going? And he doesn't really answer. He's just like, well, how did you know I was here? And she just kind of sidesteps the question. She's like, that's not important. And she keeps pressing him on it, like, where are you going? Like, what are you doing? So he finally tells her what the situation is. And yeah, like, he definitely, like, he wouldn't explicitly say that he doesn't want her to come, but it would be fairly clear.
You know, maybe he's like, Obi-Wan's murder is on Nal Hutta and I'm going to get him. And she's like, okay, I'm coming too. And he's like, no, you know, you've got stuff to do. You know, I don't need you. I don't need your help for this, whatever.
I think she would have to convince him. So yeah, like, maybe, was it Anakin who said we have to bring Hardeen to justice? I think it was. So yeah, like, having her kind of repeat that, I think would be good.
Right? And he's thinking, you know, vigilante justice. She's thinking, no, justice system. And maybe she kind of realizes that he's thinking the other, like, if anything, I think she does realize, but she lets him think that she's meaning the same thing he's meaning.
Yeah, just to get him to let her come along.
How are we gonna find them?
Ahsoka, you should know by now. If you want to find a lowlife,
You start at the saloon.
This is the way he's
She's
teaching
right
her.
into it. She's right
And
into it
she's-
now.
Right into it. Like, yeah, those lowlifes. I thought all life was sacred to the Jedi.
Remember, guys, this girl is supposedly what the Jedi should be. Wow. Just wow.
And it's like, again, it's like everyone's like, oh, she learns from Anakin. This is the kind of thing yeah, that's reasonable. You could say she learned that mentality from Anakin, but then she's not what the Jedi should be. She's like Anakin. Anakin's the guy who falls to the dark side.
Exactly.
And she's going right along with him. Like, there's no differentiation between them. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say, oh, she learns everything bad from Anakin, but she's not bad.
Exactly. It is such a blatant contradiction. Yeah, like, fix her tone so she's not like, yeah, we're gonna get these guys, so how do you think we should find them, and blah blah. Keep the line, like that first line, like, how do you think we'll find them, the same, but change her tone, and then don't give her that last line. Just have Anakin be like, hey, you should know by now, like, you want to find a lowlife, you start at the saloon.
Maybe he kind of pauses, if you want to find a lowlife, and then she doesn't say anything, and he's like, you start with the saloon, right? Like, so he leaves the opening there for her to pick up, what he's putting down, and when she doesn't, then he does it himself.
Okay.
Two inches to the left and that guy would be dead.
Would we want, like, Ahsoka to maybe stop it with the Force?
Absolutely. I would have it that it's going to hit him. And then Ahsoka stops it. Like,
yeah.
Unless you wanted to show that Anakin was, like, just threatening. And so then it's flying toward the guy, and then he kind of bumps it to the side, like, so that it, like, you just kind of, like, it's flying toward the guy, and it's gonna hit him, and then you just show a shot of Anakin's hand, like, twitching, and then it veers off and hits the wall instead. Because if you have Ahsoka stop it, then, yeah, that makes Anakin look, like, really, 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 really bad.
True, yeah.
Maybe she, like, starts to, like, raise her hand, and then you just see his hand twitch, and he's like, you really think I'd do that?
I don't know if I'd actually have him say anything. Maybe he just kind of gives her a look, or maybe he doesn't even notice.
Yeah, fair enough. He's pretty focused on his whole, like, I am intimidating everyone to get information right now. Why do they it's already
I know, right? It doesn't
the
make
reaction
any
doesn't make
sense.
any sense. I would have people be afraid.
Several people would get up and walk out at that point. Like, yep, don't mind me. I'm just gonna scooch past you here. Goodbye.
Dentist appointment.
The fugitives are already gone.
All three of them were here?
Two came in, met the third.
When did they leave?
Nothing's free on Nalhutta, especially information.
You just named me. I'll answer 2 of your questions and no more. So I really hope you have more than 2 questions.
So the guy's like, oh, the fugitives already left. And Ahsoka's like, oh, well, would you look at that, Anakin? I guess there's nothing more we can do here. I guess we should just go. And Anakin's like, no. Where did they go? And then the guy's like, oh, well, nothing's for free. So instead of Anakin force choking him, she kind of gets in front of it. So as soon as the guy is like, oh, well, nothing's for free, then she immediately mind tricks him. Like, you will tell us.
I was gonna suggest maybe Anakin, like, slams his hands down on the counter, is like, I don't have time for games. And then he starts to, like, lift his hand, and then, yeah, maybe she, like, grabs his arm, and then with her other hand, you will tell us. So it's not like, he kind of starts making a scene, but, like, she doesn't make a big scene out of it. Like, she just stops him and shows him, like, hey, there's other ways, remember? Like, we don't need to kill people.
Yay!
Yeah. maybe she has to push him a little bit, but ultimately that's how they get the information.
I don't have time for games.
You just missed them.
Keep talking.
I heard one of them say they just bought a ship.
Let's go, Snips.
She does nothing. Oh, but look at her. Like, she literally, when we saw her from the other angle, she was glaring, she was supportive. And then he finishes and she's all like, oh my, I can't believe he did to that poor bartender man.
I think like we're supposed to read that as like second thoughts or doubts or something, but like it doesn't fit with the rest of her behavior at all.
No, like it's completely contradictory to how she was like 5 seconds ago.
And especially like with how she is later. Again, she is like right in there and she's like ramming their ship and like you can't put like this little, oh, she's having doubts if they're really doing the right thing, and then just completely drop that and ignore it and have her be like full on, yeah, revenge for the rest of the time, which is exactly how she is.
I'm trying to think, like, the last time that, like, Ahsoka used a mind trick or something, like, you know, I don't think we've ever really had Anakin around when Ahsoka used a mind trick, but we've shown that, like, she's been using it, she's gotten better, like, things like that, right? So I'd almost be tempted to, like, after, you know, they get the answers they need, and so she kind of looks at Anakin, kind of like, see, you didn't need to choke him, but she doesn't say anything, and he's just kind of like, you've been practicing. Like, there's just this little moment of, like, she's kind of taken aback, like she wasn't expecting kind of a subtle compliment.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
I'm kind of think, what if she says something like, I had a good teacher? So, like, she's giving him credit for, like, what he did in the earlier seasons, but she's also kind of subtly saying, like, right now what you're doing, like, dude.
Oh yeah, because it's past
instead
tense,
of being
had instead of have. Okay, yeah.
I had a good teacher.
So yeah, like definitely show like there's a hint of regret there.
Like, I wouldn't have her emphasize it. Like, I would just have her say, I had a good teacher. And
I
it's
do
not
like that.
it's not as bantery as, oh, you know, I learned from the best, or like something like that, right? Like, it's just this kind of sad undertone to it. But like, she is giving him credit for the previous seasons when they were working really well together as master and student. Either way, okay, and then that scene ends, and then we do other things, and then we get to here.
How do you know they couldn't have gotten very far? So you only gave them enough fuel to reach the nearest filling station on Arandia, which is owned by your brother. Well, that's a nice little money-making scam.
We better get going. Arandia is pretty deserted. They may steal a ship there to throw us off their trail.
I like your thinking.
Again, she's right into it.
Super great.
So yeah, like obviously she would not be right into it in our version.
So yeah, maybe he says, as he approaches her, maybe she asks, like, oh, you know, like, what'd you find out? It's like, yeah, why is she standing way over there?
Yeah, good question.
You know what? Actually, that might resolve the problem of that whole maybe she doesn't understand the guy's language, but Anakin does. So maybe Anakin is translating for her. So rather than, so you only gave them enough fuel to reach the next nearest, which is owned by your brother? Like, maybe he's saying, oh, he only gave them enough fuel to reach the next filling station because it's owned by his brother. So then you still get that, like, he's translating for the audience, but instead he's translating for Ahsoka.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
And then he's like, you know, we better get going. Arandia's pretty deserted. And then she says, oh, you think they might steal a ship there to throw us off their trail? And he's like, well, I'm not gonna give them the chance, or like something like that.
Look, it's Cad Bane.
Are you sure?
Ugh, who else wears a hat like that?
Good point.
Sacrilege.
I can't help think of the meme where they insert Filoni instead of Bane. It's like, who else wears a hat like that? Because Filoni's hat is cringe. Bane's hat is cool, but Filoni's hat is cringe.
I was actually just, like, when you started to say, oh, it reminds me of the meme, I was thinking of a platypus? A platypus.
I've been seeing that everywhere all of a sudden.
If Bane doesn't have his hat on, it's just like, oh, okay. It's just
Random Duros.
Yes. Oh, it's just a Duros. Oh, it's a Cad Bane. There's apparently no other Duros wears a hat like that.
Apparently not.
Do we want to keep that back and forth?
No.
Like, as I said again, like, we want her to be in it, but not in the, like, yeah, let's go get him. But, like, yes, let's go get him and bring him back to jail. Because, like, I mean, she cared about Obi-Wan too, right? Like, so...
Oh, maybe she could point out Cad Bane, but instead of saying, like, oh, who else wears a hat like that, she's just like, I'd recognize that hat anywhere.
Though, I mean, like... Wasn't the last time she saw Cad Bane season 2? That was a year ago. But it was a pretty traumatic, like, experience for her. So I think it would work to have her say, I'd recognize that hat anywhere.
Okay.
Mind you, it's a different hat, but it's, you know, same style. So,
there you go. She can be like, I'd recognize that style anywhere. Fashion king.
Now what?
Take over. I'll bring him down.
Okay, so he hits them twice. Do we want to show any reactions from Ahsoka, like after he hits them the first time, that she's like, whoa, and he's like, well, we gotta bring him down. Like, if we don't stop them now, they're just gonna get away.
I don't know if she would say anything, but I would definitely show that she's like stressed, like she's gritting her teeth, that kind of thing. And then when Anakin gets up and he's like, you take over, I'm gonna bring him down, she's like, whoa, like Anakin, but she can't do anything because he's already gotten up and walked away. She has to take control of the ship.
So she doesn't say anything, like, cause I guess she would kind of understand the necessity of him, like, bumping into their ship, trying to bring them down.
She might say careful, but I think that'd be it.
I'm assuming we wouldn't have her trying to bump into it while Anakin's on the ship.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Maybe we show her, like, she's just trying to stay close to it, and then, like, they pull up suddenly and hit her? Yeah, so maybe we have that like Obi-Wan's trying to pull the ship this way or that suddenly to help out Anakin, and then, you know, he kind of accidentally crashes into Ahsoka. Why does Obi-Wan do that?
Yeah, I do kind of wonder about that myself. It doesn't make much sense. Like, why cause them both to crash? So yeah, I think it makes more sense to do what you suggested and have it be like on accident.
Well, I mean, like the whole shooting the infrastructure. It's like, what's the purpose of that?
I always thought like he was trying to like throw up cover for them, but yeah, like they do nothing with it, so it doesn't make any sense.
Like, I guess it kind of implied they went through the smoke, but like, what was the benefit of that? Because he waits until they're like past the smoke before he suddenly like tries this maneuver that's like, wait, is he trying to get away from her? Like, wouldn't it make sense to like turn rather than go up into her?
Yeah, like I don't get it at all.
So like, yeah, I'd have it. He creates all this smoke. He tries to turn to get away from her, but then yeah, she kind of happens to turn the same way. He's pulling up at the same time. They don't see each other until they're crashing. Yeah.
I would make that impact for Ahsoka actually feel like an impact instead of a boop on the nose. She really slams her head on that steering wheel.
Do we want her knocked out for this though, or do we want her to be part of it? Because if she hits her head really bad, like, I don't see her being able to do what she does next. She'd either be out cold or she'd be like...
Well, because she takes her bloody sweet time in getting over there. So if she was knocked out for longer, that would at least explain the delay. Instead of her just, oh, I'm gonna dilly-dally and do a bunch of unnecessary flips and twirls and, well, I'm trying to save my master's life.
What if... Well, because, like, they end up getting thrown out of their seats. What if something similar happens to Ahsoka and maybe she twists something, like twists her ankle or something, so then, like, that slows her down? You know, so you see her thrown and like, you know, maybe her foot gets, you know, tangled in something and twists a weird way, she cries out, and then everything kind of comes to a settle, and then you come back to her and she's like, Anakin, uses her lightsaber to like cut whatever tangled her foot, and, you know, and maybe that's part of the reason why she does all those flips and twirls, because she's trying to like use her hands more to like get her further, but like you show that like when she lands, she like lands really badly, like she falls when she lands. Yeah, no, okay, the way they're doing it here, like, she's using her feet a lot. We would have to change that. Maybe we have it set up kind of like in gymnasts. They'll go from like bar to bar, flipping and then catching the next bar. So like I would have her doing something like that, and she's kind of like, yeah, flipping and twisting her way up, but when she like gets to the top, then she lands, falls again, obviously, you know, cries out in pain kind of, but like then she sees this happening and she's like, no, I gotta get there, like, and like we would show her like use like a force jump, but like it's a little lopsided, or like it's, you know, clearly like very difficult, like it hurts, or like she's not jumping as high as she maybe would if she was fine.
Yeah.
Because she's really only using one leg.
Anakin, don't follow me.
You're lucky we're in a hurry, little lady. We'll have to dance another time.
Master, are you all right? What's wrong?
That's why I felt a connection. Obi-Wan is still alive.
I don't understand.
I don't either. But we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
I was gonna say, like, when they went to pick up, you know, finger quotes, Reiko Hardin, why didn't Anakin and Ahsoka sense that it was Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Like, walk in the room like, hey, Obi-Wan, why are you looking so weird? So I was wondering if, like, maybe we could insert something, like when Obi-Wan is talking to Mace and Yoda, or while they're getting set up or something, like maybe just kind of slip in something that kind of says that it, like, suppresses his force signature. I don't know, like just something to kind of explain why Anakin and Ahsoka wouldn't recognize him.
Or maybe he's actively suppressing his own force signature, and he kind of stops just long enough to let Anakin know in that moment who he really is.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously, like, Ahsoka wouldn't be as sure on her feet as she was when she came to Anakin's rescue there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd have to show her like hobbling a little bit.
I was gonna say, like, instead of having her say master, I was gonna have her say Anakin, because like she's kind of written him off as a master at this point, but like she still cares about him as a person, right? I mean, that's the whole reason why she's like doing this, is because she doesn't want him to go down a dark path. So
okay, so yeah, Ahsoka's like, Anakin, are you all right? And yeah, he wakes up and he's like, well, I sensed Obi-Wan, like Hardin is Obi-Wan. And she's like, what? Like this whole time
how
been hunting Obi-Wan? Like, you could have gotten all of us killed.
I think she'd question it a bit more before she went into that. Like, she'd be like, what? Like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I felt a connection. Obi-Wan is still alive. Like, and she's like, but how could Obi-Wan be Hardeen? And he's like, I don't know, but like, I can only tell you like what I sensed. And then it kind of hits her like, wait a second, we've been hunting Obi-Wan then.
Yeah, like, you could have gotten us all killed. Like, we should never have done this in the first place. And then, yeah, he's like, what do you mean? Like, you wanted to come along. I thought we were on the same page. And then she has her line of like, we haven't been on the same page in months. And this is exactly why. I am trying to be a good Jedi. And honestly, I don't see where you fit into that anymore.
Like, I would have like a heavy pause.
Yeah.
Like, just like silence as she's kind of like, yeah, I said that. Like, okay. And he's just kind of processing it. And then I'd have it that he like, you know, he gets up and he dusts himself off and he's like, well, if that's really how you feel, then fine. When we get back, I'll tell Yoda to assign you to another master. And then he starts kind of like not like walking away, because like it does show that like, you know, he's not top notch right now. But like I would have him stubbornly kind of like going off by himself, and her like
she limps off.
She's still on the ground when it kind of goes to the close. We've shown that she will be able to get out of there by herself. It'll be really painful for her, but but it's like, you know, she just kind of like, she doesn't know what's gonna happen, right? Like, if he's no longer her master and somebody else doesn't take her as master, what's gonna happen to her?
Yeah.
And the fact that like she finally said what's been building up for all this time, like I don't think she would be like, okay, let's get up and go back. Like, I think she would just be like mind spinning, like, oh shoot, like what did I do? Like, did I mess up? I can't believe he's just gonna, he agreed, like he didn't get mad, like there's just so much going through her head. But like, so yeah, I'd have him kind of stumbling off and her just like sitting there. Yeah. So his back is to the camera and she's kind of turned like 3/4 so you can see what's going on her face.
We thought we'd have an advantage with Obi-Wan on the inside, but we've had no communication from him in days.
Obi-Wan will do his part. Let's make sure we do ours.
I didn't even realize that. Like, the next time we see them, they're in on it. They know it's Obi-Wan. Like, the council's acting like they've known all along.
I don't know. Like, I guess because, like, now they know. There's kind of no getting around that. So, yeah. I guess it kind of makes sense for the council to utilize them, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
I think you'd have to have a scene of Anakin, like, confronting them, being like, WTF is going on, bro? I sense Reiko is Obi-Wan. Like, you want to tell me what's going on? Like, I can't believe they left that scene to the cutting room floor. So would we want to include that? I wouldn't have Ahsoka be part of it.
Yeah.
But I would have that scene. And then, like, you wouldn't have to show them, like, completely filling him in. You would just kind of have to, like, kind of lead into the implication with, like, well, now that you know, we may as well explain the situation to you. And then it cuts away. And then you can have something else, and then you get to this. Like, maybe you could have that scene at the, you know, at some point in the box episode. Like, I don't know if it would really work either which way. Or you could just do, like, what you did with the other episode where you were so smart, where you just kind of during the narration you have him say, you know, now that Anakin knows, and just kind of like have a shot of him like angrily talking to like Mace and Yoda, and them like looking at each other like, okay, we gotta tell him now. And then you can go to this scene to open.
Yeah.
But yeah, this what's with this face? If Obi-Wan's doing our part, we need to do ours. Oh, Anakin, I don't know what to think about you right now.
Again, like, I think it comes back to the whole, like, oh, she's worried about him. He's so upset about all this, and she just can't help but be concerned.
She has no feelings of her own.
But yeah, so we're not gonna have Ahsoka here then.
But like on that topic, we haven't really talked about it. We have also kind of had it that she's pretty preoccupied with Anakin. So maybe I would have it because like when the shot where Obi-Wan dies, finger quotes dies, like she's just kind of tearing up. I would have it that she's like tears already streaming down her face by the time Anakin gets to her. And yeah, kind of like they already have it, like he asks like, you know, is he okay? And she can't talk. She's just like sobbing. And then I would have her like more composed at the funeral, though like still showing that like she's grieving, right? Like, and then yeah, that would be part of what kind of prompts Plo Koon to come talk to her afterward, be like, hey, you okay? And then she deflects. I would kind of show that like, yeah, she's pretty torn up, but like, it's one of those things where it's like, if I start talking about it, I'm gonna start like bawling right here. So I'm going to pivot and like put the attention somewhere else right now. Right, and so that's why she kind of like, you know, like, oh, I'm worried about Anakin. He hasn't said anything, right? Like, and maybe because I suggested that she was in the library when R2 contacts her, when Anakin's trying to go off on his own. Maybe instead we have her in her room and she's looking through like hollow photos. Would they have like photos of themselves, each other, whatever, right? Like,
I don't think so. But I was thinking of suggesting at that point that she be meditating in her room.
okay. Yeah, and then we don't really have any other opportunities to kind of show her own grief after that, because they're busy with it all. Like obviously, like when she's getting upset at the fact that they could have actually been the ones who end up killing Obi-Wan. Like there's a lot of emotion there, but yeah, we've already covered that. So yeah, she does nothing in that scene. Okay, so she was part of the team that escorted.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
Anakin, Ahsoka, welcome to the festival. I've never seen the Festival of Light. Sounds like a big event.
They're expecting a large crowd, which means it will be difficult for Dooku to attack during the ceremony. That leaves the palace as the best opportunity for an ambush.
Are you that certain an attack is imminent?
I'm afraid so. Which is why I'm making Ahsoka your personal bodyguard.
At your service, my lady.
If there's trouble, Ahsoka will get you, the Queen, and the rest of your staff to safety.
What about you?
Hopefully, I'll be where I always am.
He means saving the day. Of course he does.
So if we have it that upon getting back, Anakin asked Ahsoka to be assigned to another master, then it wouldn't make as much sense for her to be traveling with Anakin for this mission.
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest maybe Padme contacts Ahsoka and she's like, you know, I heard like there was a falling out between you and Anakin. Is everything okay? And then maybe she asks like, hey, will you come to the Festival of Light anyways? Or maybe if we didn't have that, you could just have that scene is Padme being like, Anakin, where's Ahsoka? I thought she'd be with you.
Yeah, I think I'd like that better.
That's when Padme finds out about what happened. And I would have it that like she looks like really like, I don't know if upset is the right word, but like, you know, we did establish that her and Ahsoka had become friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think she would be really torn over the fact that like Anakin and Ahsoka are now upset at each other because it's like they both mean like a lot to her. Okay, so yeah, so we wouldn't have her for any of this. I think after this point, yeah, she's just in the background. Like you see a few shots of her when everything goes crazy, like, you know, because she's helping people.
Hurry!
So like she's doing her job, you know, like, but we wouldn't have any of that. So
Okay.
yeah,
I
that's
guess we're
the,
done.
Obi-Wan Undercover arc.
And we did all 3 episodes in one go. Woo!
So that would be the closing of her appearances in season 4. We like leaving people hanging.
Yep.
But what's going to happen to Ahsoka.
Da-na-na-na. So that was the Season 4 Obi-Wan Undercover arc, where Ahsoka and Anakin's fragile relationship finally fell apart. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, share with your friends, and consider subscribing so you don't miss future installments. As always, comment below letting us know what you think of our rewrites and what you would do differently. We'd appreciate any support you are willing and able to offer via Super Thanks or on Patreon, where we have plenty of exclusive content waiting for you. Next up, we'll be switching up the chronology a bit and tackling Season 5, Episode 6, The Gathering, so be sure to join us for that.
Because apparently now it's okay to switch up chronology.
It is for the sake of the story.
For the greater good.
The greater good.
Shut it!
Okay, we are now recoding.
What are we recoding?
Some code, I guess. It's not okay. It is the opposite of okay.
Your face is the opposite of okay.
Your existence is the opposite of okay. I genuinely still can't watch these episodes without, like, just automatically inserting rain into it. I have a problem.
Stop. Get help. Though, to be honest, I would absolutely be the same. Like, for a while, when I was working on my fan fiction for Ocarina of Time, I could not play the game without seeing my OC everywhere.
This cat is sitting in my microphone box. Get out of there.
If it fits, I sit. I remember seeing photos of, like, they put, like, big cardboard boxes into, like, lion enclosures. And, like, the lions would be like, ooh, box. And they get in the box. It's like, this is a universal cat thing. Read it.
Oh, okay, I'll read it. I'll start the conversation. Chat with everyone in the studio. Messages are cleared after each session. Viewers will not see these messages. There, that's our outro. Bye!
It was a thing of beauty.
We'd appreciate any support you are willing and able to off. Blah, 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 blah.
Sounds good to me. It's a thing of beauty.
Yes, I know. Goodbye! That was our outro.